have their like cauldrons.
The witches. The dungeon is super spooky.
I don't know, the cooks.
Yo, man, this your boy Sean with you, bro. I was even gonna get on, but
Do you think
it was a download that I had earlier.
Coming out?
But she kept putting it on my fucking
told me that there was an alligator that lived in
keep
the
putting it in
dungeon.
my energy, so I guess I'll
I'm not sure I want to find out.
I was thinking the same thing.
definitely not for all the primal beings, because everybody got different shit within their being. Definitely not for everybody, and definitely not for every primal that will be. That's coming from the mothers.
It's creepy.
That is coming directly. That is coming from directly from her. But
so you can just
she just wants you to, you know, understand it. I gotta read it because the download came kind of like wordy a little bit,
and they kept all the food down here.
and I had to put it in my notes. She said,
this is where they like kept their salt. Have you ever seen
basically, some of the primal beings aren't human. Don't be tricked by their trickster archetype. Stress and trauma, not healed through,
it's kind of like
not healing through it, damages your telomeres for you not to awaken fully to who you are. I'll repeat that. Some primal beings aren't human. Don't be tricked by their trickster archetype. Stress and trauma, not being healed through, damages your telomeres for you not to awaken fully to who you are. Yeah, that's what I'm peeping, because like some of us is like not human. I don't give no fuck if you came from that womb. That womb is a portal.
There's this myth about treasure that was actually lost at the chateau.
Some of us have the archetype, the shape shift.
At the time was this lady.
It's just you forget.
She was actually the
because when you're young, you see
Queen
shit.
Henry
You
of
notice
Medici
what the
of
type of
France,
realms you actually connect to.
King Henry IV.
Now I'm thinking
Through her connection with
like
the Queen, later
I was
on
seeing all
managed to
type of shit when I
become
was
rich and build
younger.
up a huge fortune.
I'm
When
talking
King
about
Henry died, their son Louis
Two.
XIII came into power. There must
Two,
have been
three.
something going on in their family because he banished
but trauma made me
crown.
forget.
Poor Leonora Dory was put
Trauma.
on trial for witchcraft, and she ended up being executed. There is a legend
yeah.
that says before she
I would
was
see
beheaded,
beings.
apparently
Yes, I would see
she hid some
monsters and
treasure
shit.
somewhere because the royal
But the
family
trauma
was
made me
never able to
scared
find it. And no
Coming
one
out,
has either.
meaning like as you get older,
Okay.
there was
Found
things that you were always cool with.
Awesome.
That kind of got to me, like when I was younger, like that Freddy Krueger shit. I love that shit now, but when I was like kindergarten,
What's really fun about being at a castle, you just
where the
never know
trauma
what
started
it's
like
gonna
around
bring.
4 and
sometimes
5,
it's a broken
maybe
window,
even
sometimes
3s,
it's treasure
that's
hunting.
when
Many will come with.
the disconnect come, and that's when you disconnect truly to where fears can be
It's definitely
tapped,
onto something.
you know, encapsulated within your being.
Wait, what is it?
It's really
But as I gotten more awakened, those same things that I used to run away from, I go to. Those same things, like I remember back when I was 4 and 5, we rented a game called Manhunt. And that game was creepy to me, but that's a game I play to this day. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna play this after this. Yeah, I used to be scared of Manhunt, but I love Manhunt. That's like my game. I kind of forget it sometimes. I kind of have to remember to play it. But I think I'm gonna start playing that again. You can check on my gaming channel out. You can, you know, look at some of the gameplay. E.G. Fisker Gaming. I hope you know how to spell my name by now. But if you're new and you don't know what I'm about, I'm a musician, you know. So I got me a little gaming channel just to have fun. E.G. Fisker Gaming, EJJIFISKER Gaming. And I got music out, E.G. Fisker, YouTube Music, Spotify, all that good jazz. I'm out there. I got like over 300, 400 songs or some shit like that. I've been doing this shit for a grip. You can check my track record. I'm on YouTube, all that shit. But these same games and shit, these same things, they don't get me no more. But I never was scared of Hellraiser. That's why I knew I was like from the Inferno realm. Like I loved that movie when I was a kid. I'm not even gonna front. So that's why I peeped it. Like yeah, just a different being, just very different. But back to the topic at hand. The trauma that you go through in life isn't by design. Some of that is a weapon to disrupt your evolution to your fully spiritual self that transcends this physical body and merges to itself to where you don't have to worry about 98% of the things that you are worried about. The 2% is just that little 2% of not necessarily outside forces, but just you being your worst enemy with that great power.
Skin protection ritual
Basically.
that protects your skin from mosquitoes. The #1 best-selling mosquito
But
free
yeah,
everything.
that trauma, some of that trauma they did that because people knew who you were before you, like your family and shit. They could have been wicked and they could have been doing shit that you probably forgot about. Treating you a certain type of way to make you feel isolated. That was by design to disrupt your evolution, so you can never like fully be who you truly supposed to be. Yeah, that was set up by design though. And then you would get in a karmic relationship, whether it's platonic and shit. People will know who you are, but they would gaslight you, shit like that, so you don't fully tap in and go deeper within, even with them. Little things like that. Especially with like narcissists, emotionally dumping and you know, fucking with your emotions and shit. That was made by design to give you trauma to where you don't, you know, fully awaken and shit. It's just weird how people do things. It's weird how people do things. But what I realized is some of these ancient primordial beings that got these different type of energy within them, they were regenerating back to what? Back to their youthful phases, you know? Just due to them releasing what no longer serves them and standing on business and nurturing yourself. You don't have to be perfect at it, but you can just do the best you can, and that is enough to get a glow because you're practicing self-love, even whether it's little and you're devoted, even if it's something, but you have different areas where you show it. So it's enough to give you a lot of clarity on who you are. It gives you a lot of power. It gives your power back because you're focusing on yourself and you're nurturing yourself, so you're gaining your power back. You know, that's why a lot of people don't want you focus on yourself. They want you distracted, things like that, because you're you know, yeah, that's just kind of how it is. And what I'm picking up is a lot of these individuals that are getting the things regenerated. That's not something new. We've been doing this for hundreds of thousands of years. There were priests that knew how to stay around for hundreds of thousands of years if they wanted to. That's just because of that, who they were and what they woke up to. Some of these individuals are on the planet, and they want them to think that everybody's the same, one love, one space. That's not how it is. If that's the case, then why do people age and die? And then some people can turn the clock back and leave this bitch whenever they want. You know, we can't all be equal. We can't all be in that one standpoint that how they been projecting it, because some people got abilities that other people don't. They want you to think that because if they can intellectualize your power and put everybody on the same level, you can block out the potential and just accessing your power fully. You're just capping yourself at what somebody tells you are. So you just kind of have to think outside the box and just go within and see what your truths are and stand on it, and don't let nobody tell you otherwise of what you're capable of turning into, transforming, becoming. Don't let nobody tell you anything. Yeah, protect that. But your telomeres for the upright primal beings that have this type of genetic imprint, you were reversing things that you didn't think it'd be reversed. You could have had an ailment to where you had arthritis being reversed. You had low libidos being reversed to where now you feel like you can fuck for hours and shit.
And now here I am telling you.
Let's say you always had short hair, nigga. You were a bald motherfucker, and something switched, so now you got a full head of hair. Yeah, it's going like that. You done tapped into your melanin, your neuromelanin, and now you got it moving how you want it to move. You're becoming the master that you were supposed to become, and that comes with a lot of perks. But your downfall is your own mind in deceiving yourself. That is the only caveat when you got this power. You can always deceive yourself if you allow yourself to be deceived by yourself. But you got this type of ability that you're awakening to, and it's a little, books can't even put it in the terms of what you're capable of doing. So don't ever run away from the limitlessness within your being. Don't ever run away from your power, because that power is the key. That power is the key to accessing your gifts. Don't run away from yourself. You should always be intrigued to go within yourself, because you're going to always find something new. Have that intention. Like, I'm always going to find something new about myself that I forgot about, or things like that. I'm always going to access things that I probably need to know. Go within that knowing and understanding, and you're going to reflect results. But yeah, these trickster archetype energies make you seem like they're human, but they're not human. They're not human. We're not going to tell you what they are, but I can tell you for a fact they're not human. When you tap into your neuromelanin and you got it transformed, you're not even the same person. And then you're going to notice through the phases of the shifts and through the phases of your personal evolution, you're going to notice that things change about you. You might have an eye color change. You might get taller. Shit like that. It just kind of happens. And you just kind of have to go with it. You just kind of have to go with it. But you definitely got beings out here that defy all the things that what people go through. They defy it. They defy logic and the laws in terms of what the ego have made into laws. Not necessarily what the cosmos made, but just what people thought to be not possible. But it's possible for you. Especially when these shifts come through and this nova come through, you're going to really start to see who you truly are, because it kind of goes through cycles unless you can keep going regardless of a shift. And you are just, when that shift comes, you're going to be even greater when that shift comes. But it just say you keep going and going and going. Oh yeah, you're going to break through the cycles of the shifts, and you're just going to make a shift. But the shifts definitely help. But you're going to definitely start to see you upright, ancient, magical primal beings that this resonates to. You're going to definitely start to see things change about you. Don't be freaked out. Don't think that it's a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. Because there were people back in the day that never aged. They just decided to leave because it's like they knew that there was more to life. We only came down here to really have fun and to play around and to teach people themselves. And then after that, we'll go take the exit. We'll go and we'll go in the pyramids and leave that bitch. But not a lot of priests had that access to that power, because not all priests are the same. Yeah, those pyramids are portals to the primal realms, but that was before. That was like a long time ago.
Wanna come check it out?
Okay.
That shit, I don't even think we can do that no more. The energy at this realm was different back then. We would teleport. We can go in the inner world, in the inner earth, through the pyramids. They were all connected. They were like elevators.
The hair people are saying that.
No, they're not.
But yeah, it was much different. It was much different back then. But we're accessing our abilities that was back then. But we're gonna have to create more to bring out this ancient energy, to have it more surrounding ourselves, so we can start doing those things that we were doing back then, but in much evolved way. We're all about evolution, even in regards to technologies that defy shit, just like how those pyramids did. But we can elevate past that and go beyond it to where we probably don't even need to hop in a pyramid. All we need to do is like what Goku do. Instant transmission, and next thing you know, you somewhere. Like I said, your powers are going to defy what are possible. I mean, what's impossible is going to defy that shit. It defies what's impossible. So just know that if you've been noticing things change about you, you got that gene. I don't know what to call it. You got that, you dig, and you're transforming. And your protection is to continue to transform, because there's primal forces that are protecting you to transform. Because with your transformation, it just changes things. It really shifts the energy of among the planet when you have primal beings transforming. Your protection is you elevating, whether it gets hard, because you notice that when you're on that journey of self, you're always protected going through the wilderness. You're always protected going through the trenches. It's because of that evolution. That transformation is sacred. They will never let nothing happen to you when you're connected to the mother and you do it upright. That's her promise. She'll make the whole world get destroyed to get you saved. She proves it every time. That's why they do the things they do. They know they can't just run up on you. They know they have to trick you out of your protection. Attempt to trick you out of your protection. But this is a beautiful energy I'm picking up. I just want you to know that you're growing younger and you're growing more beautiful than you ever did, just because you done kept loving on yourself and you only accept the best. Even if you're around it, you don't entertain it too long. You know what your worth is, and you always go back to what your worth is truly. You don't 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're waving at the door, and you're seeing them at the door. You're not letting them in. And this is bringing about great change about yourself, and tapping in to your magic in an upright way is bringing upon this transformation to where you may look unrecognizable to yourself and to a lot of people, into what you become. So just know that that's a part of this transformation. Your protection is transforming. Don't let nobody distract you away from transforming. But that's about it, man. Just had to drop that for the great mother. She kept putting it on my mind. Everything is, I believe that's everything. But yo, I'm out. Y'all have a good one.